Well, all of our early season games, I mean, our complete schedule. I mean, we don't have a lot of easy touches on there, and we're just looking for a good game in the early part of the season. The season has crept earlier and earlier. I can remember the days when, wasn't that long ago, when we opened up with Syracuse, in a couple of weeks, and then we added Drexel and then Loyola, and got from there. And so this game with Drexel, they are a good club, and they remind me a lot of Loyola actually. And we will have our hands full on Saturday going up there, and we got to be ready to get after it.
How do they remind you of Loyola? What are their challenges that they present this season?
Good offensive group. A little reckless offensively, so it's a little bit unpredictable in some ways, which can be a little bit tricky. Maybe not quite as powerful as Loyola offensively, but good sticks and a good aggressive style there. Maybe a little bit longer than Loyola at the defensive end of the field. So it just, in these early games, it generally is more about us than it is about the other team. Drexel won't have played a game, and so advantage to them for having been able to see us in a real game, and we can't prepare for them quite the way we would be able to later in the season. So again, it just makes it a little simpler for us in the sense that we just got to get ready to play here and play our best lacrosse.
What do you need to do better Saturday that maybe you didn't do last weekend?
Yeah, probably the most obvious example is just find the back of the net. It's been a little bit of an issue throughout the preseason. I don't really have much quarrel with the effort overall. It's we're all big boys here. We're not gonna take much solace in the battle of the statistics. Where we were good on the ground and good in the number of shots and things like that last week against Loyola. At this level, all the good teams are gonna give a great effort. It's about execution, and so we just got to keep working. And be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more decisive about finding the back of the net with the ball. I think, like I say, we're a program that's always been sort of built from the offensive end of the field, and we just need to start making the ball go in.
You guys want to ask Coach anything, or I'll fire away?
You want to jump in?
If you'd like.
Obviously, that was the. Sorry, this is really weird. But that was the issue on Saturday, was finishing. Is it something that you work on out here, just getting more shots on net?
You work on it, but you try not to make guys crazy about it, because you got a couple of young guys out there that already are pressing a little bit, and I don't need to make that more difficult. What you just need to do, I've been other situations in other years when we haven't scored quite the way we would have liked to have, and the emphasis here is to just keep working, and emphasize the positive things and keep working at it. Knowing that on balance, if we continue to produce good opportunities, that the ball's going to start to drop for us. We just got to keep working.
This Drexel series, just like Loyola last week, it's another one of those one-goal game kind of series every year. Is it just? It's like that every week. It seems like. How do you make sure these guys know that going in?
Well, I think that they're aware of the history of the whole thing, and again, we're a program that is aware of the fact that we don't sneak up on a lot of people. For some of these teams, clearly this is the big game on their schedule. When you get to the end of the season. I've often said that we're a program that has had to learn to win from the front anyway, and so we just got to go and meet the challenge and play better and win the game.
They always come out ready to play. I think, especially because we are their first contest this year, I think they're going to be all fired up, ready to play. Going to be a lot of people out to watch, and we're going to have to be ready to play from the start.
What do you remember from last year's matchup?
I remember a lot of snow. I remember it was a tight game in the first half, and once it snowed about an inch or two in the second half, we kind of pulled away. And yeah, they always come out tough. So,
feel like it's only the second game, but maybe a little bit of urgency to have a great performance after dropping your season opener.
Yeah, absolutely. No one ever wants to start out 0-2, so I think this is a big week in practice, and then I think this weekend we'll be ready to come out and hopefully grab our first win.
What do you think you need to do better this time around than that maybe you didn't do last week?
I would say the first thing is definitely finish the lacrosse ball. I think we're going to get our opportunities, and I think we got to put the ball in the back of the net a little better than we did last Saturday.
I think probably the most obvious is just putting the ball in the back of the cage. I think we got a lot of really good opportunities throughout the game last Saturday, and for some reason, I don't know if it was the shooting, if their goalie was hot, or what it was, but for some reason we couldn't find the back of the cage throughout the game, and I think if we could do that this week, we'll have a different outcome for sure.
What do you think of the challenges playing up there at Drexel, a team that hasn't played yet, so you don't really have a scouting report on them?
Right. There's always a hostile environment when you go up and play there, so I think everyone's a little bit anxious and excited to get up there, but I think, like I said, if we go up there and everyone focuses on doing their job, I think we could be successful up there. So.
What do you remember from playing them in the past? Because they've always played you very tight.
Right. Every year that we play them, I think it's always an exciting game. They have a really good team and a lot of good players. And like I said, it's a really hostile environment playing up there. I remember going up there my first year. So I think everybody will be prepared for that and ready to just focus on what we need to do and get the job done. So.
How slim is the margin for error in these games? Because this is another one of those series where it's a one-goal game like every year.
Right. And I think we focus on that throughout practice every week. I think everyone knows that, if you throw a ball away one time, that could be the difference in a game like this. So I think everybody's focusing on doing their job and making sure that they do everything as close to perfect as they can. So, we don't have a game like last Saturday this upcoming weekend. So I think if everybody focuses on doing their jobs, the offense putting the ball in the cage and the defense stopping them from putting it in the back of our cage, I think we'll be successful this week. So
I know you guys aren't used to starting out 0-1, but how do you make sure guys aren't panicking after just one?
Right. I think, especially for the young guys, I think some of the older guys know that, it's so early, it's only February, and that if you get a loss there, it's not the end of the world, but I think it's good start, and we could focus on, what we need to work on. So, we're not coming out and blowing the doors off of a team the first round, and everybody thinks we're the best team out there, and then, we kind of lose focus as the season goes on. So I think starting where we started it and being able to build off that is important. I think we'll be able to do that this week.